out of favour Carlton player Elijah Hollands, his name has sort of started to pop up a little bit in terms of maybe the Tigers are expressing some interest or asking the question, having a polite, friendly chat after he had been advised by Michael Voss and the Blues to explore other options despite still being in contract, which is an extraordinary thing to do in a lot of cases, but he's obviously a very, very talented footballer. But Vossi straight out said in his interview that it was pretty much all to do with all the off-field drama and things that went with it. So now this video is not about speculating about what the off-field stuff was. That's not what we're going to do. But I'm sure everyone's heard various things, will make up their own mind. But what this is about is, do we think the interest from Richmond in Elijah Hollands is real? Should we look into it further? Would it be something we should be willing to talk about and open to taking him on board? So pretty much the first I had at least seen and heard of this was via a Instagram account called Rip Through It. So I'll put the post up next to me here, mentioning that West Coast and Richmond were keen for him. And yeah, that was pretty much the first time. Now, I don't know a lot about that Instagram account, how much of their info is good or not. I'm just kind of putting up what I had seen. But then, interestingly, I did receive a message from someone who does often get pretty good mail. And we talk quite a bit. He's a big fan of the show. And he had mentioned that according to him, that we have had a conversation, or like at least had a discussion of some type at a very low level with Elijah Hollands. So whether that turns into anything or not is a completely different story. But maybe the club is open to it. It would be interesting. I mean, we've taken on players with baggage before. We took on Marlon Pickett, who had obviously a little bit of baggage along the journey, and that turned out fine. Ben Cousins back. I know that's a long, long time ago now, but Ben Cousins obviously well documented the baggage that was coming along with him, but we gave him a second chance, brought him into the club. And I know he was obviously past his prime in terms of footballing stuff, but we felt stable enough in our own environment to be able to give that person a chance and to help them in whatever they were doing in life outside of football as well. So could this be another one of those examples? Now, just to give some background on Elijah Hollands, for those who aren't aware of his footballing resume. So he was taken pick number 7 in the 2020 draft by the Gold Coast Suns, and was then traded to the Blues in 2024. So he played 14 games for the Suns, 27 games for the Blues. And look, like I said, off-field stuff probably has been what's undone him to this point in time, because the kid can seriously play. He's a midfielder / forward, and I'm just looking up his Rookie Me draft profile, and if he's right, if he's good to go, if he's in the right headspace, it's not the worst idea, potentially. So it says here, Elijah Hollands is one of the most talked about prospects in this year's AFL draft. This is back in 2020, of course, and with good reason. So, unfortunately, the number 1 pick contender injured his ACL prior to the season, so he was actually touted to be that high, I didn't know that. But then when the season got cancelled due to COVID, they weren't able to play any matches. He's a high-impact player who predominantly plays half-forward, but can play deep through the midfield, though never quite got the chance to fully develop on ball given the problematic 2020 year. Strengths: overhead marking, scoreboard impact, athleticism, defensive pressure, one-on-ones, goal sense, dual-sided. Improvements: further midfield development, post-injury durability. I mean, take all the other stuff from the outside away. If we just look at him from a pure football perspective, all of those strengths tick a lot of boxes. Two-way defensive pressure, scoreboard impact, athleticism, overhead marking. Every club needs that, right? That's not just exclusive to Richmond, but they are somewhat very appealing traits. I guess the big question is, without delving into speculation, is, are we prepared to bring in someone like Elijah, who has had off-field stuff happening around the environment with all the young kids that we've got in the club currently? Are we stable enough as a club? Are we mature enough as a club now? With the people we've had come and go, do we still have the right framework and structure in place to deal with somebody who may have baggage from the outside world coming into football land? I don't know. I would like to think we do. I would like to think most clubs do, and maybe Elijah just needs a fresh start, and it's just not working at Carlton for whatever reason. And look, truthfully, it could also just be a pure scare tactic from Michael Voss to light a fire under his ass to make him perform. And maybe they've got no intention of trading him whatsoever. It's just to try and get the best out of him for 2026. Because, like I said, he's a very, very talented footballer. And coaches will do coach things to try and extract that talent from a player. But I guess the question is pretty straightforward. Should we entertain the idea of talking to and bringing across Elijah Hollands and adding him to the mix? Would he be someone of interest? I dare say if the Blues are serious about getting rid of him, that you would think it would come relatively cheap, given that they're wanting to offload him. Even though he's still got a year left on the contract, it kind of wouldn't then make sense for them to try and ask for the world. I'm not sure what that pick looks like. Is it a future second rounder? I know we've only got the 2 first currently. So it would maybe have to be futures and things like that if we were to go down this path of a trade. But yeah, it's a really interesting one when we're sort of getting towards the pointy end of the season when trade names start to come up. And this is a real doozy, to be honest, because I just don't know where I quite sit with the whole situation. Like I want him as a footballer, but I don't necessarily want everything else that comes with it to cause chaos with the kids we've already got. But keen to hear what everyone thinks in the comments below. Yes or no for Elijah Hollands? Do you want him playing football at Richmond next year if he is available and if we are interested? Let me know, and make sure you like and subscribe for more Tiger content. We'll see you for the next one. Go Tigers.